award-winning programs such as TDA's Energy Right Solutions and Renewable Energy Awards. For strong customer participation, the Sierra Club Sustainable Energy Leader in the National Biosolids Partnership Platinum Level Award. And whereas Commissioner Williams was an advocate for customers, recognizing the balance between the needs of business and residential customers, the need to invest in the system, and the need to manage costs. And whereas Commissioner Williams demonstrated leadership in support of long-term funding plans for KUB's Century 2 and PACE 10 infrastructure programs, including the approval of bond issues and rate increases to balance the cost of needed system improvements over both current and future KUB customers. And whereas this funding is allowing for the timely replacement of water and gas mains, overhead and underground electric lines, power poles and equipment at substations, and is already benefiting customers through increased system reliability. And whereas during his tenure, KUB's high-quality bond ratings were upgraded by both Moody's Investors Service and Standard & Poor's, including a historically high AAA rating for KUB water system bond by Standard & Poor's. And whereas during his tenure, Commissioner Williams has been an advocate for teamwork, an award-winning 21-year program partnership with Austin East Madigan High School, which provides school-to-work experience for high school juniors. And whereas during his tenure, 245 students have participated in the teamwork program, and there are currently 10 former team workers employed full-time at KUB in a range of jobs. And whereas Commissioner Williams has further distinguished himself in KUB through his involvement with the East Tennessee Quality Growth Forum, Character Counts, Men of Service, and serving as Vice President of the Greater Knoxville Industrial Development Board and President of the 100 Black Men of Greater Knoxville, all associations focused on making positive contributions to our communities. And whereas in addition to his active role as Commissioner during his tenure, he served as Vice Chair of the Board as well as Chair of the Nominating Committee. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Knox Utilities Board, number one, that this board hereby gratefully acknowledges and commends Eston Williams for his dedicated service to KUB, its employees, customers, and our community. Number two, that the board recognizes Commissioner Williams' effective service and that the board genuinely regrets that his time on the Board of Commissioners has concluded. And three, that this resolution shall take effect from and after its passage, and that a copy shall be provided to Commissioner Williams. This has been signed, Madam Chair, by all of the commissioners on this first and final reading, December 15, 2016.
Okay, and I do want to request a motion in a second to pass resolution 1353 on first and final reading.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. I want to recognize Samantha.
Commissioners, I'd like to speak to this resolution. 8 years ago, when Sam McKenzie told us he was going to run for political office, which of course meant he had to resign from our board, we were very concerned about that because Sam had been a great influence to us in our safety program and many things. And Eston stepped right in where Sam was, and we never missed a beat. Eston's gifts to KUB have been, in large part, the way he cares about employees, whether it be our teamwork students or helping us recruit good employees or just having our employees back. He always speaks on your behalf when we have issues come up, so we thank him for that. He's also given us a lot of leadership and insight into our efforts for conservation and sustainability, and that really means a lot to have his leadership because that's what he does every day in his full-time job. On a personal level, Eston's had my back, and I want you to know I appreciate that very much. I've gained a friend, and I hope I will never lose him as a friend. I also want to recognize Susie. She has allowed him, so to speak, to come here and be with us. And I know at night when your phones ring and it's customers and it's issues and those sorts of things, that Susie gets those phone calls too. So thanks to Susie for being his partner in life and being his partner here at KUB. So thank you very much on behalf of all the staff. Thank you.
And I want to echo, whereas, if I could say that. I think you have said it all. But Eston, I didn't know Eston when he first came on the board, and I'm born and raised in Knoxville, grew up in East Knoxville, and to have someone from another state to come here and be engaged in our community like he is, KUB is one of many, many things that he does. I appreciate him. I know that our community will miss him because he will be living somewhere else. But on behalf of the board, I do want to give you this gift, and I want to thank you for all that you have, and I'm going to give you a pound. And just thank you for all your work that you do, and we will miss you.
I think I may have talked too much already. You know, when I first came on board, I had some expectations, some high ones. Most of them been met. But I can never say enough about the employees and the staff that KUB has, because you guys make it all worth being here. From day to day, some of you I've spoken to on a personal level, like Martin. I've known Mr. Martin here for a while, and always tried to give encouragement words, because I know sometimes you all are the one, as you will, out there in the trenches that making things happen that a lot of people doesn't realize what goes on. So I owe it all back to the employees. I'm also the ones that like to deal with the ones that down there that really are making it happen. Now I realize that CEO, the VPs, the managers, and all the others are doing their thing too, but if it wasn't from the rubber on the road like what you guys are doing, it was just an example of what was presented today, recognizing you all. And you have to recognize folks when they do a great job. People don't have to be nice. And when they're nice, they'll have to be nice to you. So Mentha and the board is so great that we're doing these things to do that. Now I say this to you too. When I came here as an amateur, as a KUB commissioner. What you send away off to Nashville is a better commissioner. And I will miss this community because I planted a lot of seeds here in this area, and it's kind of a bittersweet moment for me because I know in Nashville there's a whole lot that need to be done, and I plan to take some of those things to Nashville, what's been presented here in the Knoxville area, because we have a platform here that the whole nation need to realize, because we have some of the best at making these things happen. And with the cost savings, with the communication, with the customer service component, is here. And I travel around and seen and compare it to others. And so for the KUB employees, you are to be proud of the organization you're working for, because there's so many other folks who would love to be working for an organization like you're working for. And to my good friend that is about to leave the same time I'm leaving, to this day, I still have not got one up on you, because I challenged him so many times on things that I couldn't figure out, and he always had an answer for me. But to Mentha, the rest of my colleagues here, I'll miss you guys, and keep on doing what we're doing to make this Knoxville area the best place to be and to live, because these folks need us and they depend on us as well. For that, thank you so very much. I would not say goodbye, but I would say so long.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we've got one more. Stand up, Bill. If I have to stand up, you have to stand up. This is going to be hard for me. Oh, dear. Shakespeare wrote, "Parting is such sweet sorrow." Well, there's nothing sweet about this. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it weren't for Bill. And everybody knows that. It's no big secret. We've been a great team. I knew Bill back in the old days, at the city. I went to work at the city in '75. He came in '77. And I gave him his civil service exam, and he passed. And he didn't even cheat. So, we've known each other a long, long time, and I've been totally blessed to have someone with his character, his intellect, and his commitment to KUB to work with. He promised me he wouldn't leave, and then lo and behold, Foley said, I've had enough of this. I'm trying to get out of here. So he is leaving, and I wish him the best, but he will be missed. That's all I can say.
I do want to say something about Bill. I've known Bill for 13 years. When I entered here on the board, this is my first. So basically, I grew up with him. I came on here as one of the youngest commissioners. First meeting I was here, we were talking about the consent decree, and I'm looking around like, what the heck is happening? This was not in my interview. I didn't know this was coming. But what I will say is, when you're sitting in the room and you're new, you try to focus on who knows what's going on. And he was able to speak very well of what was going on. I was able to understand it. He's an engineer, I'm an engineer. Most people can't understand what engineers are talking about. When they finish, you usually say, what did they say? But he has made it very easy for us. Whenever we call him, he has an answer. Also, he has a way of balancing. When I leave here personally, and I know the board feels the same way, you learn how to balance. There's not a right or wrong, because you have the customer, you have KUB, you have the employees, and he has found a way to balance all three of those things. That's the hardest thing that we do, and we really appreciate that. I know for me, that's something that I'm personally taking away, that I have grown with and passed on, and I know that that's been instilled in the people here. So. And now she's going to make me cry. And so we will miss you. KUB will miss you. I know the people under you, because I know the type of man that you are, because I've known you for 20%, 25% of my life. That has been passed on to the people who are taking on your position. But I thank you, and I thank you for just being there when we needed you and being there for the community.
I was going to say too. So I always bug Bill. Since I became commissioner, Bill's always heard everything from me, questions, and you've always been so gracious and so thorough and so quick with your responses. And I'm going to miss that. Can I still do it? Who else? Who's taking on that spot? Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it.
Thank you all. You obviously caught me very much off guard with this. I was not expecting this at all. I do appreciate it. This board has been extremely supportive, and the boards before you. I can't say enough about the commissioners that I've worked with over the years. The employees, nothing that we do can be accomplished without them. So the success of KUB rests with these individuals and others like them. We've had so many over the years, and so many are coming along that will continue to make this a very, very successful organization. So I thank the employees as well. Mentha staff, you know, I could not have been as happy, as successful, could not have made it as long as I have without the support of Mentha, the staff, and others that I've worked with so closely over the years. So I thank everyone, our attorneys. You guys have bailed me out more than once.
Literally.
Bad choice of words. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Okay, I do want to recognize Commissioner Askew for the nominating committee announcement.
Commissioners, in January, the board elects officers as required by the charter. The nominating committee met earlier today and voted to nominate the following slate of officers for 2017. For the position of chair, we nominate Celeste Herbert. For the position of vice chair, we nominate John Worden. And for the position of secretary, we nominate Mark Walker.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other business or comments from the commissioners or anyone else? Do we have a visitor here? Anyone here? No. Okay. Following the adjournment of the meeting, board and staff will have a lunch session across the hall, and it's open to the public. This meeting is adjourned. Great meeting.